Just when you thought FL Studio wasn't innovative, they dropped Fruity Slicer 2. Shout out to Larry O. I would have never known about this if it weren't for Larry O's video. So we're going to hop into Suno because we're going to make a sample. You guys can kind of copy my format. We're going to go to Suno, click in the lyrics, type in like ooh, ah, and then I love you, I need you, and just repeat that. And baby, I love you, baby, I need you, and then repeat that. So basically you're going to get these nice 1970s vocals. Then type in 1970s Black Soul. And that should be all you need. You can go to the advanced tab and switch it to a female vocal. That usually gives you a vibe. You could also try male vocal, but here's the sample we're going to use today. So the way I'm going to use Fruity Slicer, because I did try this and attempt it before, but I'm going to be honest, it made me a little frustrated. So I'm going to show you guys a different way. Let's left click and drag this into our playlist. And what we need to do is chop up samples first. Okay, so you would think we just drag stuff straight into Fruity Slicer, but we're actually going to take the time to map this out. So let's hit Alt, left click, and do a vertical slice. Just going to nudge this over. Now we're going to turn off the metronome and just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 1, 2, 3, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and slice 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and slice 2, 3. Ah, come on, 3, 3, 4, and slice. Okay, so that's a lot of slices. So the reason I'm slicing is because if you load it straight into Fruity Slicer, you might find it a very bad workflow. Okay, there's some suggestions I will make to the company, not that they listen to me anyway, but there's a couple of things that like need to be addressed. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna do is click in the audio, gonna make unique as a sample, or you could just click here and hit the letter U on your keyboard and then just hit U. So I'm doing this for each thing. So basically what we're doing is creating a new file for each sample. That's important because if you do anything to one sample, it will affect everything else if you don't make these unique. I learned this next tip from Infinite. Shout out to Infinite. He teaches like West Coast. He teaches FL. Let me highlight these. He makes sounds. So hit Control A, hit Shift Q to quantize the audio to the grid. Now the last step we need to do is go to Tools. And where is it at? Okay, they moved some stuff here. Let's go to, where'd they put it? Let's go to Tools. I guess they took away the macros. So just go to Tools and then go to Switch all audio clip channels to stretch mode. Hit OK. All right, now when you double click into an audio, it's automatically on stretch mode. So when you change the tempo, it won't move its tuning. Now we need to time stretch. So turn on the metronome and just double click each sample, right click, select 2 bars. Now the first 2 chops, they had a drifting tempo, so they're not going to sound on beat. Now everything else, because we chopped in 2 bars, we're going to make it 2 bars. All right, so now we have all this. Let's send it to one line. So again, we're doing all this work because I'm telling you guys, if you do it a different way in Fruity Slicer, you might just create more headaches for yourself. So let's highlight all these. Now we have every chop perfectly time stretched and everything. Let's right click and consolidate this as a track. So let's consolidate this. If you have any effects, you could turn your effects on. Your insert effects. We're going to do 32-bit stereo, 512 point sync, cut remainder. Now we have this. We should be able to, oh wait, tell me you guys can hear this. I'll be so mad if this didn't record. Okay, I just had to check the audio. having flashbacks of our live streams where the audio dropped out. Okay, double click here, and then we're gonna right click and then open in Fruity Slicer. So this opens up Fruity Slicer 1. Okay, so that we just did all that for naught. All right, that's weird. Okay, let's open up Fruity Slicer 2 from the list. And what we're gonna do though is take the audio. Let's switch the channel right to all so we can have the audio. We're gonna take the consolidated audio, hit Alt to open up Fruity Slicer window, and this at the same time. And let's see if we can left click and drag it in manually. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the top right. It took me a long time, guys, to figure this out. Go to the top right, and then we're gonna chop by, let's do the beat. We're at 92, let me see. Yeah, we're gonna chop by the beat and then click here. This is a Wonder Girl technique, and then we're gonna do, where's it at here? Dump to piano log, normal, and then drag this pattern into your playlist. So essentially what we've done is taken away the groove of the sample and added our own groove. And this does not sound on beat at all. What happened here? This is not right. Something's not right here because we time stretched it. So it should be perfectly on the grid. That's super weird. This should be, I don't know if this is a bug, you guys, or what. This should not be like offset like this. Okay, I think I figured it out. It starts at like, what? It starts here. It starts at beat number 37. Why does it start randomly at beat 37? What is going on here? Let's do this again. I don't know what happened there. So this is kind of weird. Let's see if we just... Okay, so a cool thing I would like to do is make a slice inside of slice. I don't see a way to do that. That's very obvious. Let me just click around. Again, we didn't read any manuals, so if it's not obvious though, that's not a good thing. Because you would think right clicking. All right, you would think right clicking does something. Man, I am finding this workflow very weird. Let's try this. Use sample built-in slicing. Now, the issue I found before the video is when I hit my lowest key on my keyboard, it's not even low enough for this Fruity Slicer. So if you're using a MIDI controller, you're gonna have a very difficult time triggering this thing because it doesn't even trigger your first slice. So it's like, how are you supposed to chop that way? And you can't even go here and then offset it. The root key, it doesn't do anything. So it's like, how are we supposed to do this? Bro. What the freak, man? Let's do this. Let's do half beat. Now, luckily, the sample part that we want is more towards the middle. So we can get something out of this. It's just not exactly what I wanted. Let's just work around this. But we are missing a lot. So I want to make it very clear what's happening, y'all. This is a very big problem. Like the lowest key on my keyboard can't trigger the beginning of the sample. It triggers number 10. So that means there's half impossible to trigger any of these without using the typing keyboard, which I don't want to use my keyboard to produce. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's a really big workflow issue. Another thing that I tried earlier was if you click here where it says playback, you want until sample ends. This basically means it will play all the way through so that you don't have to like, it'd be cool to just have simple, gated, play till the end, one shot, something very simple. This language might be a little confusing. Yeah. So I'm just giving you guys a realistic thing. I was hype. I'm still hype, kinda, not really. But let's see if we can make something out of this though. So forgive my energy, y'all. I'm just giving you guys a realistic. I don't want to hype you guys up for no reason. All right. Question is, should we do drums first? Nah. All right, let's do it. Now, I thought we time stretched it, so I'm wondering why our time stretch isn't applying to the fruity slicer. Because we definitely time stretched these. Let's try a couple things. Let's try lowering the semitones. See how it just kind of like ends? All right. So now I gotta kind of manually go in. I just want to be honest with y'all. This is a weird workflow. Like, it's super weird. This is not a normal workflow. And it's not a knowledge thing. It's just there's fundamental like issues about how you even approach this, in my opinion. And I even did the long roundabout way, which is like, oh my goodness. All right, so I'm debating if I want to quantize those notes or not. Now let's find some drums to go around this so that we can add. Let's use some count drums. Shout out to Count. Boom, boom, boom. My bad, y'all. I forgot my keyboard was tuned down an octave because I was trying to trigger a fruity slice. So that's why it sounded weird on the kick. I was wondering why the kick sounded super like not like the kick. I recorded down an octave. There you go. All right, now let's add the hi-hats. I'm not sure this beat needs hi-hats. Hi-hats feel awkward on this beat. Check, check. Actually, the clap makes it weird sounding. Let's quantize the sample. I liked it kind of loose, but let's quantize it. Now let's hit Control A. Why are the buttons not working, y'all? Command Alt Q doesn't do anything anymore. Or wait, am I wrong? Let's go to snap to grid. Quarter beat. Half beat. Half a beat. Whole beat. Did they change the shortcut? Oh my lord. FL Studio. Okay, they changed it back to Command Q. After we told them that like Command Q closing your whole project was kind of crazy. Now they sent it back to Command Q. Let's quantize these kicks and snares. Let's see if we can do anything else with Fruity Slicer. Let me clone this. So again, I'm being honest with you guys. It is a super weird workflow. I would hope that there's an option in the full release to make this playback option across all the samples, not just sample by sample, because that is like actually crazy. If we have to click on each slice and click until sample ends, like might as well just draw the sample in, you know, at that point. So transpose 1, what does that do? I guess you can transpose the slice versus transposing the entire thing. You could do monophonic, meaning one sample at a time so they don't overlap. Filter mode, I guess this means you could do a global, meaning across all your samples you can filter, but you have to add a filter in. Cool to have a filter, that does add a vibe. I just wish there were like a macro playback option so you could affect all your samples, and yeah, just a better slicing option. Like dull and medium are too aggressive, and not all samples are like super quantized to the grid like we did. So it would help if they had like a slider or something, kind of like Logic Pro has that little slider that detects transients and it adds more slices depending on the slider. I think that feature would be really dope. I think a lot of people would be into Fruity Slicer if that was the case. Yeah, I mean, I guess the tedious part is hard to really articulate this. The tedious part is adjusting these values per slice, like the attack time per slice. Didn't it used to be global? Like it used to be a global attack that affected everything. Now it's per slice. So it's like, bruh. I guess that's why they have Fruity Slicer versus Slicer 2. So yeah, basic things like that. You know, people are asking for really elaborate stuff like stem extraction and all that. They're basically asking for a Serato sample inside of Fruity Slicer. That would be, you know, a dream to level up that fast. But I don't need all that as a user. I just need basically, like I said already, the playback option to be on the entire everything, all the slices, and the attack and release to affect, at least have an option to switch that to affect everything. Because I don't think anybody is that crazy to go per sample and edit per sample. I don't think anybody's that wild. So let's add some. All right, so I just added a little textural stuff. I still think it has some work to go, guys. I know it's a beta. I honestly thought this would be an exciting video. I'm so sorry for people who are like, bruh, get your energy up. But I don't want you to be frustrated thinking that it's one thing and it's not that thing. So if you guys are looking for a recommendation, I probably wouldn't get it just yet until they address the playback options, addressing all the samples in the chops, and until they address this attack time affecting all the samples, and until they really focus in on just how the transients are sliced. You know, there's not much to version 2. It actually creates more of a headache. That little thump to the kick. I don't know if it's Count's drums, but FL definitely sounds better. Like they did something to the sound engine on Mac. Unless it's Count's sound design, but the kick sounded really good distorting just now. It normally does not sound that good, but it could just be that kick. So the sound engine may have gotten a lift. It's hard to tell, but it sounds like something's different. So I can definitely hear like Kanye, J Dilla on this. So we definitely made a dope beat. But in terms of like the workflow, it honestly was giving me a headache. So for that reason, I can't put my stamp on it to say, yo guys, get ready for this release. And I'm not hating. I just don't want you guys to get frustrated because then it hurts the brand. I just want you guys to be excited. There's a couple things I think need to be addressed on this one for it to be a final release. But until then, y'all can't really now this beat is hard though. I wonder if they did something with the sound engine. The sounds sound different. Something about this sounds different. I'm gonna have to try other project files, but FL sounds different. I could even hear it in my voice. Sounds different. Hold you guys any longer. Peace out, guys. Thank you for watching.